Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unearth the hidden stories behind those dry corporate filings. Today we are diving into Limoneira Company's latest report, and let's just say there is a significant land deal in Chile that caught our eye, before we get into the juicy details. If you love getting straight insights from these official documents, make sure you are subscribed. And if you want to chat more about these findings in real time, join our Discord community linked in the description below. It's where the real corporate decoding happens. Now, Limoneira Company, or LMNR as you might see it on the stock exchange, has just filed a report detailing a major transaction. Their Chilean subsidiaries, named Fruticola Pan de Azucar and Agricola San Pablo Spa, have sold off a big chunk of their land. Think of it as selling a farm, but a very specific kind of farm that grows fruit. So what did they sell? It's about 600 acres in total, split between lemon orchards and orange groves, plus some land that wasn't being used for farming yet. What is super important here is that this sale also includes the water rights tied to these properties. Water is gold, especially in agriculture, so that is a big deal. The total price tag for all of this was a little over $14.9 million. The deal closed right away, meaning the papers were signed and the transfer happened all at once. Now, about the money, the buyer isn't paying all $14.9 million up front. They've made an initial payment of $6.8 million. The remaining roughly $8.1 million is going to be paid over time. And here is where it gets interesting. These future payments aren't a fixed amount each year. Instead, they are tied to the profits, or what they call excess free cash flows, from the combined operations of the land that was sold here and from the buyer's own citrus business. This means Limoneira's future earnings from this deal will depend on how well the buyer manages these farms. They'll be looking at the profits each year on the 31st of March to figure out the payment for that year until the whole balance is paid off. But wait, there is more. After all the main payments are done, there is an extra sweetener. The buyer will pay Limoneira an additional amount equal to half of what they paid in the last balance payment. This is a way to ensure Limoneira gets some further benefit if the business continues to do well after the main debt is cleared, to make sure they get all this money. The buyer has put up their company ownership, their corporate equity interests, as collateral. Think of it like a mortgage on the business itself. So why is this in the report now? Well, a couple of weeks later, on the 13th of November, the company put out a press release to announce the sale of their Chilean properties. This report is essentially laying out the official details behind that announcement. The filing includes the actual agreements, which are quite lengthy. We're looking at several contracts here, including the main purchase and sale agreements and novation contracts for both of Limoneira's Chilean subsidiaries. These documents, originally in Spanish, have been translated into English for the filing. They also note that if to raise any difference between the Spanish and English versions, the Spanish one is the official one. Just for context, Limoneira Company stock is traded on the Nasdaq stock market under the ticker symbol LMR. It's their common stock, with a par value of 1 cent per S-hair. Now let's talk about what this all means. Selling off land, especially productive farmland with water rights, is a pretty significant strategic move. On one hand, it means Limoneira is getting cash in, which can be used to pay down debt, invest in other areas of their business, or return value to shareholders. The purchase price, almost $15 million, is a decent chunk of change. However, the structure of the payments being tied to future profits introduces some uncertainty. Limoneira is essentially betting that the buyer will be successful in managing these newly acquired assets. What's interesting is that this isn't just a simple sale. The installment payments based on future profits feel like a bit of a creative financing or a way to realize more value if the citrus market remains strong for those specific properties. This strategy could be a way for Limoneira to reduce immediate financial risk while still participating in potential upside. It's like they're saying, well, sell you the farm, but we still want a cut if you hit the jackpot with it. On the flip side, this sale also means Limoneira is shrinking its operational footprint in Chile. We need to consider if these Chilean properties were a major growth area for them, or if the company is pivoting its strategy to focus on other regions, or perhaps more high-margin products. Without more context on their overall business and long-term plans, it is hard to say definitively if this is a home run or just a necessary move. Looking at the overall picture, Limoneira is a company in the agriculture business. Specifically citrus, they face the usual risks of weather, crop diseases, and fluctuating market prices. By selling these assets, they are reducing their exposure to those risks tied to those specific properties. The cash generated could strengthen their balance sheet, making them more resilient. In conclusion, Limoneira's sale of its Chilean properties is a noteworthy event. It generates immediate cash and sets up potential future earnings tied to performance. The company's direction seems to be towards streamlining operations and perhaps focusing on its core strengths. The key risks here are the buyer's ability to generate the promised cash flows and whether Limoneira has a clear plan for reinvesting the proceeds, or if this is more about divesting non-core assets. It's a move that shows a clear financial strategy, but its ultimate success hinges on the performance of the acquired lands under new ownership. Alright, that is our breakdown of Limoneira's latest filing. What is your take on this Chilean land sale and its implications for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribing ensures you won't miss our future dives. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, for more real-time corporate decoding. Thanks for watching, see you next time.